today's episode, we will be talking about lessons learned throughout this month of September and different things I'm thinking about focusing on for the month of October. This is like my life update, you know, kind of thing. Just, whatever. That's what we're talking about today. So let's get into it.
I don't know how this thing works, but screw it, I'ma do it anyway. I don't know how this will turn out, but screw it, I'ma do it anyway. I don't know how this thing works, but screw it, I'ma do it anyway. I don't know how this will turn out, but screw it, I'ma do it anyway.
What is up, good people? It's your girl, Nikki P. Welcome back to another episode of Soul Untamed, where we talk about creating a life that is designed by you and not for you. So if you've been following me these last few weeks, it is September and I am out here in the beautiful state of California. This is part of me intentionally living my life the way that I want to. Ever since I was a kid, I have always wanted to be out on the West Coast. Specifically California. I absolutely love being out here. There's something energetically in the air for me. Every time I come out here, usually I'm creatively inspired. I love seeing the mountains, and of course, bonus, I get to spend time with the family that I have out here. And I am blessed and fortunate enough to be able to do my work remotely. So this is me intentionally creating a life, that I want to live. My desire is to not permanently live out here in California, because those are people who know me will always say, well, when you moving out there, well, how come you don't live in California? I don't actually want to live out here like full time. What I actually would like to do is more of a bi-coastal thing. And so my desire is to live in Maryland, like maintain a residence in Maryland, but also to be able to come to California, spend, a few months out of the year. Probably when I can really get it going, I will choose to spend the colder months out in California so I can avoid snow and all those types of things on the East Coast, and then go back to the East Coast, throughout spring, summer, fall, and kind of do it that way. But this is my life. This is the way that I want to live. This is me in real time doing what I tell you guys to do, to absolutely intentionally do the things that make you happy. So, as of the recording of this video, well, when this video drops, it will be the last week of September. And so usually around this time, toward the end of the month, I always do like a reflection of what I have accomplished this month, what I want to see going into the next month, focus areas and all of those things. So as far as lessons learned, I feel like one thing that has really been showing up for me since, not really just even since September, but like in the last couple of months, is manifestation has really been showing up very real in my life. Like I've believed it. I talk about it. I know that, what we think about, what we write about, what we, how we show up, all of that contributes to what we manifest in our lives. But I have really had some things literally just pop up just because I either wrote it down or said it out loud. And that, even though I know that happens, that is still so trippy to me. That is so trippy to me. So so one of my lessons learned, I don't even know if it's really a lesson, but just kind of what I noticed was seeing manifestation happen in real time for me, saying things like in my finances, right? So I have a goal, not just this year, but even going into next year, of really earning a specific amount of money. So there are different investment opportunities and things that I'm looking into. and there was one that popped up. Now I knew about this investment opportunity, but I wasn't planning on like doing it right at this time. I wasn't going to do it until like the new year started. But the opportunity came up in September. And I'm like, okay, let's go with it. Let's rock with it. And so I made this investment, and I'm a few weeks into this course now, and I really feel like, yeah, I made the right choice. And I feel like I was able to get in at a discounted rate. And if I had have waited until January, then this opportunity it probably still would have been there, but I wouldn't have gotten the same type of, not value, but there are just more bonuses and things that I got because I got in it at this time. So it's just little things like that. Just seeing how financial miracles are happening for me, seeing how things that I want to do. Like another thing that happened to me was some of you may know, and I'm sure I've mentioned on this channel before, that I'm also a martial artist. And one of the things that I had been thinking about doing, like way in the future, it wasn't going to be anything I did this year, was that I wanted to offer self-defense to women, because I feel like there are a lot of us out here that don't know how to defend ourselves, and in many situations we might feel powerless because more times than not men are physically stronger than us. And so I had it in my mind to like do something later. I kind of was writing different things down, wasn't thinking about it all. And one of my friends hit me up and said, hey, can you sub in for me for my self-defense class at the senior center? And I'm like, sure. I wasn't trying to teach right now. And it's so funny because I was looking at the universe like, see, I know I said it, but I wasn't like, not right now. Like I was like later, like not right now. But that's how manifestation works. Sometimes you start putting stuff out into the universe. That's what I had been writing. That's what I've been saying. And so the opportunity was there. And now it looks like more opportunity is coming, because as a result of me like teaching this class, I connected with somebody in the class that now wants to interview me about self-defense for women. And it's so crazy because I wasn't even trying to do all of that, but I just wanted to bring all of that up to just say how manifestation has been working in my life. And it's like, wow, you know what I mean? So those are a few of the little updates going on. As far as accomplishments, I have been working on different products to offer in my business. If you keep following me, you'll hear more about those things later. I'm only going to tease a little bit about it now. But there was one product I was working on. Well, there are two that I'm actually working on. And there's one, and even though I got through the first one, the second one, as I start working through that one, I'm finding that I'm more excited about the second one than I am the first one. So following excitement, I actually think that I'm going to pour more energy into developing this second one. I really can't wait to share this with you guys. So that's an accomplishment to me, as far as getting as far as I did with the product, and I at least have all the content that I'm going to do for that product. Trying to think, what else did I do successfully? Spanish is going well. I think that every week that goes by, I am becoming more confident in speaking. I understand better. It does depend on who I'm listening to. I find that people that I talk to frequently, I understand them more. But yeah, sometimes it's still hard. Like I just got finished today. I just watched this episode of a series on Netflix, and I swear to you, if I did not have the subtitles on, I wouldn't have understood nothing. Not nothing, but I would not have understood what they said. And this is supposed to be the kind of Spanish that I understand better, because it is actually a Mexican like series, and I typically understand Mexican accents better. But I swear in this one I was like, man, I need these subtitles, because I cannot understand them. But in general, I think that I am rising to the challenge. One of my teachers, he can be pretty challenging to me, just because he's just doing that. He's challenging me. he is, making me uncomfortable on purpose to get me to grow. And there's a part of me that just, like most of us, when we're in something uncomfortable, we just want to push away. We don't feel like doing it. But because I'm not a person who likes to give up, especially if it's something that I chose, that I said I was going to do, I feel like I have to do it. So I think that I have gotten better, with Spanish. I feel like I've gotten more of a flow. Like I'm doing my reading every day. I am doing weekly quizzes on topics that I've covered throughout the week. I take something from each of the teachers that I have, and I think I'm applying it to my life. While I'm out here in California, I do have an opportunity to engage with more Spanish speakers. And so Spanish, I think, is going well. Fitness is going well. When I'm out here, I feel like I have a second wind, when I'm out here. So I'm working out by myself. I was working out with my cousin, just doing different things. So I feel like I did actually get a lot done, invested in things, and I'm seeing the results of what I said I was going to do, and just showing up the same way I tell you guys to show up. And even the days that I don't really feel empowered, it's like still taking the time to acknowledge the fact that that's how I feel, and still showing up anyway. So I feel, these lessons have been great. One of the things that I will say specifically since I've gotten out here to California is that I am a single woman that lives by myself, and I am used to doing things that really only affect me. And one of the things that I wanted to do, especially as a person who is also calling in a relationship, calling in a family for myself, one of the things that I'm trying to do is to stop being as independent as I am, because I'm so used to just doing things, not really asking for help, not relying on other people for things, because when you do live by yourself, a lot of times though you're making decisions yourself and there's nobody else is affected, and you just get used to that, and so that's how you live. But every time I come and stay with my aunt, there are now 3 of us in this house, and so even when I first got out here, my routine was like completely thrown off, because I'm sharing my time, I'm sharing my space with 2 other people. And while initially that was a struggle for me, because I'm like, oh my God, now, I'm meal prepping, like food isn't ready. Oh, we got to still go to the market, and then different things. And then even sharing food, like with everybody, like all those things are like new to me. But now, like, I'm understanding how the disruption of my routine actually helped me readjust and grow. And like one of the things that I will be talking about more on this channel is the importance of disruption, because all of us have some kind of routine. Like no matter how spontaneous you are, everybody has some kind of routine. There are some things that we do every single day that's just automatic. The way that we wake up, a lot of times, the things that we do from the time we open our eyes to the time we walk out the door, if you're going to work, if you're going to the gym, whatever, we all tend to have things that are just automatic. And there's value in that. There's value in that. But sometimes there are habits that we have that could use some disrupting. And like one of the things that I feel like my aunt specifically has helped me do is that, like, when I do meal prep, I don't feel really motivated to spend time really making food that I enjoy. I tend to look at having to eat, especially because I'm trying to eat a certain way, it's not really fun for me. So all I'm trying to do at the end of the day is kind of like mark it off as like a checklist, oh, I've done that for the day. So when I do meal prep, I'm not trying to even really make my food taste amazing, because most of the time it's not the things that I would usually eat that to me are enjoyable. So I'm just like, oh, I got to eat more vegetables. All right, what vegetables can I eat? All right, I'll eat that. Like, I'm not excited about it at all. But my aunt and my cousin both, they're foodies. So when I was in here cooking, my aunt's like, well, what you want to put on that? well, we could do this and we could do that and we could do this and we could do that. And it broke me out of my normal habit of just cooking for the sake of cooking, and actually cooking to enjoy what I'm eating. And that there are different spices and different things that I could try, and I could mix this vegetable with this vegetable, and I could do this with that. And that even eating, the all the different foods that I do eat, I can make like different meal options, just different things. So I'm saying all that to say that, for me, having my schedule, or my routine rather, disrupted like it actually was beneficial to me. And so now, even when I go back home, I'm not going to return to the same habit of me like, oh, I gotta eat, so let me just fix this. Now, after having been influenced by my aunt, I'm going to go back home and I'm going to actually take time to plan having different options for different meals, and it doesn't have to cost me a lot of money, and I can use different spices, and I can go to Trader Joe's or Farmers Market and get these different types of of things that can help make my eating experience every single day enjoyable. Like that, this has disrupted the limiting belief that I had that said, oh, you're on a meal plan, you're on a specific meal plan, your diet is restricted, so you're not supposed to enjoy what you eat. It's like being here disrupted that. So that's my updates. Like that's basically what September has been for me. I'm going to continue to stay out here through the remainder of September. I will not be going back home until the first week of October. And so we'll be absolutely taking the time to enjoy just being out here, being away from home, being with family, living interdependently, and not having to always make decisions by myself. Like all those things were important to me. All of those things are helping me prepare for when it's not just me. You know what I mean? As I create my life every single day, I'm not just creating life for me. I'm not just thinking about me. I'm thinking about the husband. I'm thinking about the kids. I'm thinking about all those things coming together. So I want to keep that in mind and not plan and do things that will continue to call in a life of singleness, because that's not what I'm ultimately going towards. So being less independent is very helpful for me. So that's been my September. That's been my September. So I'm really grateful for that. And so, yes, going into this week, this is the week that I will be planning doing my October goals. And we're going into the last quarter of this year, and that there's been a trend going around, a great lock-in trend. And I think that I'm going to follow that trend to some degree, but I think because I kind of already do this anyway. I'm thinking about the things that I for real want to be finished by the end of this year. Like I want them to be accomplished by the end of this year. And so going into October, I think that instead of having a whole lot of different things going on, I think that I really just want to narrow my focus a little bit. And so for business, my goal is to get through these digital products. That is it. You'll still see the videos, from me. You'll get the weekly posts. My content consistency will stay the same, but I will be nose to the grind on getting this digital product finished, so that I am able to offer it by the end of the year. Making plans for the launch of it. This is new for me. This is the first time I will be doing a launch. And other services that I'm thinking about doing, I will be keeping those things in mind. And I'm just checking my notes here. Financially, going to try to scale back on spending. What I would like to see in my life is not a person who's frugal. I'm not operating in the sense of frugality, of lack. I'm not trying to come to it from that point, but I also don't want to spend money irresponsibly. And I think historically, and even still this year, like the reason why I'm even on this whole thing of like trying to bring my spending in is because the first part of this year I was ahead financially, but I was spending so much more money every single month. And so now that we are halfway through, well, we're more than halfway through the year, but around like the midpoint of the year, it started catching up with me. And now I am playing catch up to all of the extra spending that I was doing earlier this year. And so I don't want to really just be spending a whole lot more money. What I would rather be focused on is creating diverse sources of income. And so that's what I've been doing every single week. I've been doing what's called Money Church, which is something that I found in a book that I read, Let's All Be, or We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rodgers. And she talks about the concept of having Money Church, where basically every week you have set a time to go over your finances. You have set a time to review what is working, what's not working, identifying patterns, and also making plans. You're looking forward to the future and seeing what plans do you have financially, what is it that you're trying to do, all that stuff. And so I want to focus more on bringing in money and not so much on the spending of money. I want to be more mindful about what is coming into my bank account and what is going out of my bank account. So that's basically what will be going on in the area of finances. Fitness, y'all know me, same thing, decrease fat, increase muscle, and just making adjustments as needed depending on my energy level, but staying consistent with that and just doing progressive overloading and just watching my results and paying attention to what I eat. I've been doing pretty good with staying with a more anti-inflammatory diet, adding more vegetables in, finding new ways to take some of the foods that I'd like to eat, but just making them healthier. I've been doing good with that. So that's what I plan to do. And I think those are probably the high points. I'm sure I'll be doing something else, but those are mainly my focus areas, making sure that I'm ending the year good with my finances, ending the year good with my fitness goals, ending the year good in operating my business, and truly stepping in all this CEO energy. And yeah, so if you have stayed with me through this whole video, oh my God, I've been talking for 20 minutes. Oh my God, let me get out of here. But thank you so much. I will be putting out a vlog of what I did while I was in California. I was going to drop that video this week, but because your girl can be a little bit slow with technology, like I bought a camera and I was having issues with like getting used to the camera, and child, it was a lot. So I'm still vlogging, I'm still going to do all that, but I'm going to drop that video like later and not try to stress myself out by trying to get all of that put together by the end of this month. So at some point in October I will drop what I did in California, but for now that is it. So thank you so much for watching. Keep living your life, stay empowered, stay motivated, create a life that you love, not for anybody else, but for you. It's your girl Nikki P. I'll see you on the next one. What's up, good people? Thanks for watching this video. If something resonated with you, please give it a like, share with a friend. Also leave me comments just to say hi, tell me how you're feeling, and if there are any other topics that you want me to cover, please feel free to let me know. And if you like this and you want to hear more, please hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.